What's going on, guys? Today we're going to take a look at the Harbor Freight 20-ton shop press. As you can see, it's kind of not kind of, it's a massive mess in here. And one of the things that's a mess is these two boxes here. So you see, when you buy the 20-ton shop press, there are two boxes. You have what is essentially a jack that does the pressing piece in box 1 of 2, I believe, and then you have 2 of 2, which is the frame and all that. This is pretty big. It's pretty heavy. It's probably a good 150 pounds, I think. So just be aware when you're going to pick it up that that's how heavy it is. We're gonna crack this thing open. We'll take a look at what's inside, and we're gonna get to building it. We're gonna put it right there. So let's get started. Alright, so we've got everything out here in my mess of a garage. This place feels very claustrophobic after you start tearing things apart. But if we look over here, we have the beginning of the frame, each side. Those are pretty heavy, they're pretty solid. We have some more pieces down here next to some groceries, so that's cool. This is the top piece. This is where, I believe this is where the bottle jack sits. And then this is the piece that moves up and down to adjust the level. So, in that first box also we had our nuts and bolts and all that stuff. So, and of course the springs. So we're gonna take a look at the supplied instruction manual here, and we're gonna get things put together here. So these are a real pain to get on there by yourself. If you have a second set of hands, I would suggest it. But you see we got them on there, we got to tighten them up. They are 17 millimeter bolts and nuts. So once we tighten those up, we should be able to move forward. All right, so I tightened on the bolts on the bottom. I did notice like halfway through that a few of these are longer than the other ones. I assume those are for the bottom here where they have to go through 3 pieces of metal. But I didn't realize, and the other ones on there are long enough. So, take a look. Yeah, maybe we should swap those out. They look long enough. They're probably fine. But it looks like the longer ones, if you're looking at your packet, the longer ones will go on the bottom where it goes through 3 pieces of metal. So we're going to fix that. We put in these stops basically, and then the next step we'll be putting on the base. All right, we got that on. Be careful with that. It does get a little sharp up here. I caught my finger in there, and as you saw, I dropped her. But it's on there good. I think next step is putting the top plate on. All right, so I didn't video this part because I don't want to get demonetized because of words. But I grabbed it with one hand, I set it up here, and I put this bolt in with the other hand. This will allow us to swivel it and bring it up to this point and put the other bolt in there. Alright guys, so here it is. Got everything mounted up here. Got the springs placed on, which just loop around the top here, as you can see. And then they loop around these eye bolts. If you want to put this on very easily, make sure you have your eye bolt, something like that. You can snug them up a little bit later just to be safe, but it makes it easier getting the bottle jack in here. Upon first operation, it looks to be working pretty well. It's pretty slow, but you know, it's a bottle jack, so it is what it is. The only thing I've seen is that this piece right here is a little wobbly, but that needs to, I think it needs to be that way to ensure smooth operation, so it's not really a big deal. Otherwise, and I don't have these tightened up all the way yet, just because it's getting late and I don't want to use my impact to do that. This thing's pretty sturdy, and I think it'll only sturdy up more once these are tightened down. As you can see, it's wobbling there. I had seen some complaints about people with the, I think the 12-ton one, saying that it was just like weak metal, and this looks pretty good. I don't know that it'll do 20 tons, but for what I want it to do, it's going to work perfect. So there you go. It does have kind of a big platform or a big base, so something to be aware of, I suppose. I might swap it around with my air compressor just so it's not right there when you come down the steps, but there it is. It was pretty easy to put together. I think it took me about a half an hour real time. So yeah, that's that. I'm the easiest sweating person ever, if you can't tell. But this is the Harbor Freight Central Machinery, the 20-ton shop press. As you can see, there's the item part number. Right now, as this video is, this is $200. There's a coupon for it to be $150, which is really a good deal if you compare to other things that are out there today. Assembly was pretty easy. It would have been nice to know where some of those bolts went earlier on in the video, but that was not really a big deal. It's overall very sturdy, and I think it's going to do a perfect job for what I need it to do. So that's that, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thanks for watching.